Welcome to another Beer and Blades video. I haven't got a new beer to try today. It will cock up on the provisioning front, so I'm having a Hobgoblin. Fairly sure I'll have done a review of this on video at some point, but suffice it to say, this is a proper serious beer. It's one of the best easily available. By easily available I mean 2 or 3 supermarkets in the UK at least will carry this. Easily available quality beer. So it's Wychwood Brewery, which I believe is part of Marston's. It's 5.2% by volume, traditionally crafted, legendary ruby beer. So, lovely head, nice conker colour body. That's delightful. So, first part of the video today, 3B2. This was a tag from Paddy's Potato Peelers. I can't remember whether he tagged me directly or whether it was an open tag. But the 3x2 is a tag to pick 3 pairs of knives, each for a different real world scenario. And he was quite insistent it's not about zombie killing and anything made up. So if we bob over to the desk and I'll show you my 3 pairs of knives in the 3x2. Okay, so the first of my 3 scenarios is the office, where I spend most of my time. I usually have 2 tools available to me. In my bag I'll carry the Leatherman Juice S2. Very nice little multi-tool, good looking, good selection of tools, well put together, very useful. And then in my pocket I will carry a 2-inch blade penknife. This past week it's been this case Baby Butterbean. I think the Baby Butterbean is a cracking pattern because I like canoes anyway, and we've got a nice combination of a small pen blade, lovely for just opening envelopes, and a more robust pen blade spear point that's big enough for slicing up cardboard. And because they share the same back spring, it's quite slim. So that's a nice one. So that's my office combo. The next combination I'm going to look at is just for general jobs around the house and garden. I think for a general purpose gardening knife, you can't go far wrong with the Mora clipper. So this one is in a custom sheath by Dino, and it's a, what do you call it? Is that scout carry? I think they call it, where it hangs at an angle. Stainless steel. I think the knife came from Dino as well. But it's a good, solid working knife. We haven't got a garden, but we've got plenty of big pots in the yard full of shrubbery. So if there's any jobs out there or around the house, we've got a good knife and then a slightly bigger multi-tool. Gerber MP 600, I think it is. Very nice. Replaceable heavy wire cutters. Locking tools in the handle. Usual sort of things. Knife blade. A range of screwdrivers, bottle openers, etc. That's a very robust tool. So that would be my general house and garden odd jobs combination. And then the final scenario would be a camping trip in the woods. So the first knife is actually a saw, open L, because if you're camping in the woods, quite often sawing up wood makes more sense than chopping it. And that's a big folding saw, very nicely made, very sharp. And I would pair that with, now this is on the assumption that the camping trip in the woods is taking place somewhere fairly private, so it's not going to be on show to everybody, but I would take a big knife. This is one of my bigger knives, the Mountaineer by Adrian at Chiro's Knives. Let's get this out. As you can see, we've got some grot on the blade from the last time I did the testing video. But this is a big, thick camp knife. More than capable of doing some chopping, as I know from testing it. Very comfortable in the hand. We've got a nice handle with the forward choil there, so you can either hold it to the back or move up a bit to change the balance. But I think for a stay out in the woods, those two would make a good third pair. So that's my 3x2. We've got the camping in the woods, general odd jobs around the house, and what I take to the office. So, next part of the video, excuse me, next part of the video I'm trying to catch up on my knife reviews. So we're going to have a closer look at a beautiful knife that was sent to me by 40 Belowful, John in Alaska. This is from Great Eastern Cutlery, and it's the Northwoods Unexcelled brand that they do. So let's go back to the desk and we'll have a look at that. Okay, so this is how the knife comes, in the usual heavy cardboard tube. Northfield Unexcelled, hammer tested, frozen forged, 1095 carbon steel. So pop the tube open and the knife comes wrapped in wax paper, and here we have it. Now, this is a lovely little knife. As you know, I favour traditional knives, particularly the styles of knives more likely to be thought of as gentlemen's pocket knives, and I think this certainly fits that description. So what have we got? Well, we've got a single blade slip joint, clip point blade, front and back bolsters pinched and scored with a line, brass pins, steel back spring brass liners. This lovely shape is seen in other traditional knife patterns. For example, it's reminiscent of both a laguiole and a toothpick. They've all got that sinuous curvature. Very nice indeed. This, I think, is UK legal. It's a slip joint. We'll just have a look at the specs. Blade is just 3 inches, tip to bolster. Cutting edge of about 2 5/8. So you're looking at somewhere in the region of 77 millimeters. Handle is 3 3/4, about 95 millimeters. Feels very nice in the hand. It's just the right size to fit my medium hand. Let's see what the knife weighs. £59.1 grams, or in English, a shade over 2 ounces. So it's not a heavy knife to carry at all. Fit very comfortably in the pocket. The fit and finish is stunning, as we would expect from Great Eastern Cutlery. The parts are all perfectly flush. The pins are smooth. The centre upper pin is completely flat and flush, and the other 3 are domed and recessed. Blade centering is spot on. This is, as I said, a carbon steel knife. We've got a high polish, and if you don't look after it, carbon steel will discolour and rust. A lot of people like patina and make a point of cutting some fruit as soon as they get a knife to discolour the blade, but I like a nice polish. We've got the Northfield Unexcelled logo etched on the blade there. Swedge along the full length of the back. Nail nick on one side only. Now the big thing really about this knife is the scale material, abalone. The inside layer of the shell of a particular shellfish, and I believe it's a bivalve, but I'm not sure. I know that abalone is eaten in various places around the world. Now these scales aren't solid abalone, it's a laminate, and when it catches the light you can see that it's made up of several pieces, very well joined together, no gaps, but it's laminated between clear acrylic sheets, which makes it tough compared to solid abalone, because abalone is well, this material I believe is chemically the same as mother of pearl, so it's reasonably robust but not the toughest thing in the world. But the acrylic cover will make it a bit more resistant to wear and tear. Also, I would assume as well, being a laminate and made up of smaller pieces, it's probably cheaper than solid abalone scales. We've got a nice cloud-shaped badge there, that's perfectly smooth. It is a lovely knife. Good strong action on the back spring. Clicks into place well. No blade play at all. I'm assuming that this is the factory edge. I believe it is a new knife. So we'll get a piece of catalogue paper. We'll just check the focus again. I'm always going out of focus. That cuts well. Does sound a little bit toothy. Not the finest edge ever, but more than sharp enough for most people, and more than sharp enough to be considered a respectable factory edge. So all in all, I think this is an absolutely lovely little knife. A very generous gift from 40 Below Full, John in Alaska. Does pick up the fingerprints because it's polished, but it's very elegant. The ergonomics are good, sits nicely in the hand. It's a useful size, it's well made. I think this is an absolute cracker. So a big thank you to John, 40 Below Full. And what we'll do now is we'll have a look at some close-ups, and you can see just how lovely this knife is.